The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Now broadcasting from the Right to Offend Media Studios in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, art, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report Live with Sam Whitfield.
But giving offense is good. In fact, it's essential.
And I just realized I was muted. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's edition of the Whitfield Report. I am your host, Sam Whitfield, recording here live from Right to Offend Media Studios in South Florida, joined by Morpheus. And I think Max will be joining us, but not sure. Maybe some technical difficulties, family issues. Speaking of technical issues, Rumble was having issues earlier, so hopefully everything is okay. I don't know if I know we're live. I know we're live on YouTube and Rumble. Don't know about Twitter, even though I just tweeted out the live stream. But regardless, we're here and we're ready to do a show. So how are you doing, Mort?
Do it live.
And by the way, sir,
Doing pretty good. Yourself?
I am doing well, except I have a bone to pick with you. Before we get into tonight's topic.
Careful, I'm an old man. I might die.
Yes. Well, I am surprised that you didn't die of cringe. When we had to view mixtape, the the supposed 10 out of 10 game.
That was horrible.
That was totally independent and totally not
10 out of 10, best game ever.
Totally not corpo funded. So yeah, apparently that's like getting even more IGN
Corpo funded, and that particular corpo supports Israel, and they normally hate that.
Well, I mean, it is Larry Ellison, so I'm not that surprised. But yeah. So anyway, thank you for subjecting Tim and Joe and I to that trash fire the other night. We totally, we really appreciate it.
I had to see it too.
Yeah. Speaking of hosts, Max,
I refuse to suffer alone, sir.
Well, sometimes you have to for the greater good, more. So,
No,
but
never.
But anyway,
I refuse.
But anyway, all three of us are here now. So, and more got rumbled. So that's terrific. But anyway, uh, so in addition to more subjecting uh me to like horrendous corpo slop on Friday, I have something that's not corpo slop, which I will promote, which is we've got books, ladies and gentlemen, and chiefly I have
Chill, bro.
in my hand American Inferno, available in print and ebook and audiobook, the fifth book in the Shadows of Deception saga, which covers a lot of prescient topics in today's exciting political arena, and dealing with everything from political assassinations to media misinformation and everything in between. And yeah, so go and check that out. And yeah, well, we're all here now, so welcome. As they say, a wild Max appears, I think. So uh and no,
I think he's still
still,
muted.
yeah. And this is what happens when Rumble crashes, ladies and gentlemen. So, uh, good times, but we're still, we may be a little behind, but we're still not as behind.
My mic not working had nothing to do with the crash, for the record.
Well, I'm just doing what Thomas Massey supporters do, Max, and I can hear you now, by the way.
Just talking and saying whatever you think of to keep talking so that nobody ever questions you and just assumes you're right.
Yes.
Awesome, I nailed it.
Yes. Well, although I'm not blaming a certain, country in the Middle East for the, for the Rumble outage either.
Well, it's clearly that.
Yeah. Well, apparently Thomas Massey is more Trump than Trump. Have you heard this? Have you seen this? Apparently, like,
He's too conservative for the Republicans already, right? That's what he said when he decided he was going to, be a libertarian. Sam, I retweeted this. You should all support this guy. If you've ever been associated with the Libertarian Party, there is a candidate who's running for chair on the sole premise that he will disband the Libertarian Party. Forget his name offhand, Sam, but I support this very much.
I saw that, and I'm just like yes.
And you know
What?
what's funny is he's one of those
Sounds great.
ANCAPs, right? So we support this for very different reasons. But I agree.
Yeah, well, I mean,
He thinks the party is bad for libertarianism. I think libertarianism is bad for America.
I mean, yeah, and
They are not the same.
I mean, yeah, in its current state, yes, absolutely. And I mean, also, like, everyone.
Oh no, in any state. Yeah.
Well, I mean, also, like, Rand Paul's kid got.
Being like skeptical of the government and being for individual rights is not like libertarianism didn't invent that. They just use those words that our founders used, or like Aristotle. I get so sick of this shit. People act like if you're pro freedom and they equate it with libertarianism. That's a fucking psyop, Sam.
Yeah.
They have way too many purity testing rules for that to be true.
Yeah, and I've run into a lot of those types of purity testers just this past week, and that's why I'm doing the whole Thomas Massey thing, because anytime you ask like what his actual policy stances are, none of his followers can give me any except, well, he's against all these foreign wars that Trump has started, and it's like, well, what foreign wars has Trump actually started? Well, Venezuela, and it's like, well, Venezuela,
That's not
that
a
wasn't,
war.
yeah,
They
that's not a
kidnapped the dude.
war. And also, like, Iran, I guess people in the media are calling it a war, but it's not. And if we want to get real technical about it, Iran declared war on the West, like,
Well, let me explain libertarians for a second then, Sam. They're just against any foreign policy America engages in because they're
yes.
just like, there's like two paths for activist-minded young people that they might go down. And what happened is the communists co-opted the other path. And so libertarianism is just communism for retards.
So true.
Like normally,
communism
the two
for
paths
retards.
of the activist young person are gonna be like radical anti-American leftism, right? Or like pro-freedom small government rightism. Those are basically the two paths that they. So what they did is they invented an alternate version of that, but what that normally was called was like the most center of the road opinions of most Americans in both parties for about 150 to 200 years.
Yeah.
You know, the small government, pro individual rights, that's not like a special new idea somebody came up with in the 70s. This is something our country was founded upon. Read the fucking Federalist Papers and then shut the fuck up, libertarians.
Yeah, well,
Or read anything, because I'll tell you what, Sam, when I ask a libertarian, have you read X? The answer is almost universally no, including their most fundamental and foundational literature like Thomas Sowell, Murray Rothbard, Hans Hermann Hoppe, who I've, had the pleasure of like picking his brain on these things. Have they ever read Kurt Doolittle's sort of refutations of some of their philosophy? No, because they watch a YouTube video or a TikTok that says, yeah, man, government bad, so you're like a libertarian for thinking that. And so you got to follow all our special libertarian rules.
but like also, and I know we've discussed this before, but like the libertarians, they basically disowned Hans Hermann Hoppe and
Yes, they actually
kicked him out.
disfellowed him
Yeah.
from the Mises Institute, to which I believe I said at the time, and I stand by this, the Mises Institute is bullshit, a bunch of frauds, and they kicked out probably the most relevant intellectual member and professor and philosopher in their entire little fake college structure that they set up there, because it's not a real institute, I want to point out, Sam.
Yeah, I know that. It's like one of these.
But Hans Hermann Hoppe wrote for real universities and institutes all over Europe and the Middle East for the better part of 50 years. The man is an icon in what he wrote, what he did, whether you agree or disagree with any of his arguments. He's one of the foremost intellectuals in that sphere, and they made a very big statement by kicking him out. They are the most popular libertarian caucus, so to speak. The Mises Caucus, right? Thomas Massey used to consider himself the face of the Mises Caucus, in case you were wondering why I would bring this up. Because it all comes full circle. Thomas Massey didn't become retarded this week, is my point.
No, he's been retarded for a while. Well, he was one of these people. I did some research, and I had forgotten about this, but he was one of those he was one of these he was one of those Republicans who actually he voted for Trump to be impeached like the first you know time around too.
Yep, twice.
And so yeah, like
And I mean he's a lifelong espouser of modern libertarian. And let me say this. I like Ron Paul. I've met Dr. Paul. I think very highly of Ron Paul and what he said. But all modern libertarians act like they're Ron Paul, and they're not. They're not. Dr. Paul was not an
There's only
anarchist.
one Ron Paul.
He's still not an anarchist.
yeah. No, Ron Paul is too much of a statist for most
They kicked him out of the Libertarian Party a few years ago, even though he helped found it.
Yeah, no,
What they are about.
yeah, no, they also they also kicked Nick Freitas out too. Of course, you know, Nick Freitas is mag anyway, so it doesn't really you know, so it doesn't really matter. But like that's my point. And
They
I've
kicked
said this
me
for
out for going to the Straight Pride Parade in Boston and a bunch of other people. Which is
Yeah.
funny, Sam. I pointed this out at the time. The Libertarian Party kicked me out for going to a political protest. Have you ever heard of the Republicans or the Democrats kicking somebody out for exercising their free speech rights to go to an actual legal protest?
I mean, not even the Democrats do that shit, and that's
Isn't
saying
that the most unlibertarian party then?
well, yeah, well again, going back to Thomas Massey, he went on CNN and was bitching out, oh, Trump shouldn't have tweeted out that Lion King video of the Obamas because it was racist, you know, like yeah, that's like my racist speech isn't like that's not a libertarian, you know, thing.
Well, it's like you know, I've been saying like treading on Lulbert's song I put out, and I made a bunch of speeches about this, but I'm not kidding in a sense that we literally need to drive them away from. They think that they can co-opt the MAGA movement, they can co-opt Trump, they can co-opt conservatism, but they'll be a libertarian will be the first to tell you they are not conservative. They do not share the same values as most conservatives, and
No,
they'll
yeah,
be the first one to challenge you when you get to the point where they disagree with you, and some of them are very fundamental, like immigration.
yeah, no, yeah, no. They think that well, they think that the very concept of borders is like statist.
Right. Well, the very concept of a state having borders means you have a state which is statist. It is. That's the other thing. What
Yeah,
is wrong with state? Why is statist a slur, Sam? You support having a state? Yeah, so do I.
yeah, because like
You notice it used to be fascist,
I actually like
authoritarian,
borders.
tyrant. Now what is it? Statist. You believe? How dare you believe in a government at all? You are literally a Nazi. They've
yep,
changed the Overton window, and I'm sick and tired of libertarian bullshit. I'm sorry, I go off on this all the time, but you gotta kick
no,
them the fuck out of here.
no, yeah, you and I are in the same boat there. You know, Max, like this is the other thing too, is
One
like
more thing, Sam. Libertarian does not mean centrist, and centrist does not mean libertarian. Sick of that lie.
yeah, no, but yeah, no. Well, if anything, like I don't think we're centrist either.
No. But
Really.
that's the myth that they propose. They say that most people who are centrist or disengaged from politics are libertarians. That is not fucking true at all.
No,
They act like we should be the third party. The reason they're not the third party that represents the masses of people that don't like either party is because neither do they represent those people.
yeah,
They're
well,
extremists.
Yeah, well, yeah, their ideas are too fringe.
Right.
So
So I get sick and tired of when I hear, yeah, most people are libertarians and they don't even know it. No, you know why? Because most people believe in fucking drunk driving laws.
yeah,
Most people believe in fucking age of consent laws. Most people believe in fucking police and courts and public transportation and,
yeah,
civilization.
yeah.
Most people are upset and don't like paying taxes, right? But also begrudgingly do it because they know they get more individually out of it than they put in.
Yeah, and yeah, well, and that's the other thing. I don't think people
And it helps the
really.
cripples.
Well, I don't think people fundamentally hate paying taxes. I mean, some people do. But like from what I've heard, it's always like, hey man, politicians do like a lot of shady shit with our tax money
Yeah, they
too.
waste it or
Yeah,
they pocket it or that's what people are mad about. Most people aren't mad about the idea of taxes themselves. They are I actually famously shout out to my all-time homie Asa J. He's been out of the game for a long time, so it's not fair, but we famously had a big on-air blowout about 10 years ago about this topic because I said to him, I said, look, man, most people, you're not going to convince them of the taxation is theft meme to the degree that you would like to, because when you get rid of the roads and cops and courts and animal control and business licensing and regulatory EPA commissions, the average person cares more about that shit than your abstract concept of freedom, meaning that you can't get arrested for the things that you do.
I mean, people. I mean, people don't like bureaucracy, but I think people also like what they want is they want their government to work efficiently and they want it to work well. That's what people ultimately want.
Here's another one, though. The average person, and libertarians don't get this, is not against a welfare system or a social safety net. And that doesn't make them communist either.
Yeah, no,
For
yeah,
and I think it's fair game to talk about that on this show because okay, we're sitting here with a couple of crippled gentlemen whom are they can provide for themselves, but that's because like you guys and we never go at it from this angle really, but you guys are fortunate among people with conditions like that because there's people far worse off, they can't take care of themselves. And
Yep.
I, yes, think there should be a system for people like that. Let's say
yeah,
that's one example. Sure,
yeah,
Sam can write a book and Sam can do this and that and the other thing. And then there's some guy sitting there who he can't do those things. And I have no problem with saying, you know what, let's put away a couple of dollars for people like that and make sure they're taken care of. I guess because we're like Western Christian men, I guess.
yeah. Also, though, like even for people like more and I and all those other people who do need help. What bugs me the most is that we have to fill out like 50,000 forms to like
Well,
to
and the
To
libertarians
prove that.
don't want to have the conversation of the illegals have been taking all of the resources that you guys would have access to as well.
right, yeah,
Yep.
and
Like whether or not you get,
All the goddamn forums.
yeah, you guys fill out the forms, they have a translator slash social worker provided for them to do it.
yeah, well, and the well, and the well,
And
and
they're
the
pre-approved because they're immigrants.
and then somehow this is what really like irritates me with libertarians as of like light too is like I was telling this to Mort before we came on air, but it's like anytime I bring up I asked like a couple of Thomas Massey supporters, okay, so what is he good? What has Thomas Massey done that's good? And it's like, well, he's opposed Trump's state actions against going into Venezuela and going into Iran, and it's like, okay, but
Don't care.
yeah, it's also like, not only do I not care, but it's like
Sam,
it's like, what does that have to do with anything?
what do people care about? Let's talk about it. Let's fucking think for a second. Prices of everything, especially gas. What has Thomas Massey done about that? He
Fuck all.
is against lowering prices of anything when,
Yeah.
unless the market does it. See, libertarians, this is the big secret, Sam. Libertarians found the perfect way to be the absolute laziest politicians and never get called on it.
which is the free market crowd, right?
Yeah.
Which
We
fucking talent.
need to fix all of these problems. Oh, Mr. Massey, how are we going to do it? The free market will do it. Just watch, guys. Okay, but like your job in this market, whether you think it's free or not, your job is to provide solutions to your voters for that type of problem. So what have you done about that? What legislation are you proposing? I propose we hold Trump in contempt because the Epstein files. Like, this is the kind of shit he's actually doing.
Yeah. Well, it also.
You know why there's now UFO files and Epstein files, Sam?
Yeah, because of people.
Because everybody doesn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry, we live in a post-Alex Jones got bought by Tim and Eric world, okay?
That is which
Nobody cares about what's actually going on, what might secretly be going on. People care about their paycheck, their bills, fucking how much gas is going to cost next week, maybe their investments, their property values, and not getting blown up by a terrorist or a trans person.
They turned the freaking aliens gay.
Yeah.
well
Aliens always seemed a little gay to me because they like probing motherfuckers and shit.
Yeah.
Yes, but I just wanted to use Alex's line.
Yeah. Well, and also like the Thomas Massey supporters, they like to blame Israel for everything too. Like if you ask them like why gas prices are high, it's because of Israel, and it's like, yeah, Israel did not close the Strait of Hormuz. That was actually us that did that, and Iran too.
That's not even like, I mean, that's a large part of it, but let's be real, Sam. What did you do about them closing the pipeline, Thomas Massey?
Fuck all.
Nothing.
Yeah, fuck all.
Oh, so now we have to rely on foreign oil because you couldn't stand up to Joe Biden because he didn't do the foreign interventions like Trump is doing, except, yeah, he did. We were all up in everybody's shit while Biden was president. I didn't hear shit out of Thomas Massey. He's a typical, like, oh man. If he thinks, I legit think he sees himself as a 2028 contender.
No,
and I can't wait to literally watch him get less votes than Kamala Harris.
It's funny.
That'd be hilarious.
It's funny you mentioned that, Max, because I have this clip here from, and I got rumbled, so I'll be
Rumble having issues.
That's it. You can't talk about libertarians on Rumble.
Apparently not.
Oh yeah, woke lefties are the worst, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
we're not supposed. I realize, Sam. We should. Our benevolent libertarian masters over on Rumble don't like when you shit on libertarians. So, how about oh man, you know what they like on Rumble, Sam? Oh my God, Jeremy Quartering. Let's talk about that for the next 2 hours.
Oh God.
That cock.
Cockbull. Ha ha ha. Man, I am so sick of hearing about. I hated that guy before all this, so I guess I'm just burnt out. Anyway,
No, I am too. All I'll say about that is like deplatforming as gay, and that's like
I did watch the June the King documentary on him though.
that's well, we've had the deplatforming is gay stance like from the beginning, though. So like again,
yeah,
our
and also like, how many weeks has it been since that even happened? And it's still on and on. He's the worst. Like some guy flagged a channel down. Is this really like the news cycle for people? Get off Twitter, bros. It's not
uh,
worth it.
apparently it is. Well, we're supposed to complain at like channel flagging in uh
He turned himself into Matt Jarbo.
in like in also the LA mayor's race.
Why would I care about the race for mayor in a place that not only will I never go to, but is unlikely to exist in 15 years?
That is very true.
Well, with the way things are going in California, but particularly LA, I mean, it's kind of post-apocalyptic already in a lot of places.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rough out here on the East Coast and some of the dirtier, like, sadder places. But what makes LA extra special is it has that, like, fake California positive vibes splashed all over the sad, destitute lives of homeless people on Skid Row. So it's
Well,
like, it's like that. It's like the theme song from Full House, on top of a slum.
well, and
That's California.
also, well, and also, like, I don't think any of our states spontaneously combust into fire uh all the time either.
I mean, that happens when you are the, subject of God's wrath over and over and over again, I think.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I mean we do get like hurricanes and whatnot here, but like, you know.
Well, see, we get a little of God's wrath, and they get like a lot of God's wrath. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
yeah, like California mayor's race, I figured this out. That Spencer Pratt guy was on that one reality show where he was a stuck-up rich dumb kid, right? When I was in like high school. Now I know who
oh,
he is. He's famous-ish. He had a reality show. It was with him and his dumb blonde bimbo girlfriend.
oh, so that's
Yep.
why he's
Jersey
famous.
Shore.
Yeah, he was in a reality show and it was about him and his girlfriend, I'm pretty sure, and how like rich and dumb they were. In fact, she was the star. He was like the co-star.
So,
He was
yeah,
the boyfriend. It was about the girl, obviously. I forget
so
which girl it was.
so basically the like it's the most like California thing ever then
Yes, a reality star is
basically.
running an influencer style campaign to become mayor to dunk on and meme on Karen Bass. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Which like honestly like and I know friend of show Sean Semenko might disagree with us. But I have a feeling that Karen Bass may still like retain her seat as mayor of Cal.
I don't want to speculate because I don't really know the voting ways of specifically LA, right?
I
You
don't.
kind of like, I don't have enough information on how their elections go to really make that kind of guess. I've never been to California, so making that guess of what the sentiment is like there would be hard, but I do hear a lot of people who live in California expressing that they are pretty pissed off with her about the fires. So,
Yeah. Well, all I'm saying is like I don't know it. I don't know that either. But like all I'm saying is like a few years ago, everyone was saying that like that when Gavin Newsom, was facing recall, everyone was saying that Larry Elder was going to get massively, was going to get all those seats and was going to push out, Gavin Newsom. And there was a big brouhaha about it. And then what do you know? Gavin retained his seat after all when push came to shove. That that that's all I'm saying is
I see
like
what you mean. My reasoning is a little different. It's simple. That was a state election where I could predict better in a state election how it's going to go in California. I legitimately don't know about the voting habits of LA.
Yeah, no, so that would be a good thing to invite Sean Semenko on because he does live there now. So I would be curious to pick his brain
Yeah,
about.
yeah, because I mean he might have a point. That's all I'm saying is like if he's looked at the math and when you say it's Sean, like he probably did.
Yeah,
He's not the type to say something like that and not come at you with at least a couple of things to make his case. So
yeah,
yeah,
and like I'm not necessarily blackballed either. All I'm saying is that like I wouldn't be surprised with all the shady back deals if if Karen Bass somehow pulled the Joe Biden and
when it comes to California politics, I don't think I'd be surprised by either result, right?
yeah.
Also, there's supposedly a third person in the race as well that might not make it to the finals or something. I don't know. I haven't watched enough to keep up with it because, frankly, it's LA politics. Who has time? And I don't plan to go to LA. I don't plan to live in LA. I don't plan to visit LA. I don't plan to do any business with LA. I am on the eastest of East Coast, so I don't really care all that much. But if the point where I'll care is say this Spencer guy wins and does a great job and fixes the place.
Yeah, exactly. I I mean, I only care because like I have some family and
And he's pointing out the dangers and problems of communism, and for that I give him a thumbs up. Alone.
yeah. Oh
Even if he
yeah.
loses, being so explicit about why communism is bad and not being afraid to have that conversation, because I have seen some of the ads that he's put out about that. I have to give him a lot of credit for that. And it's about time we all start being as blunt as possible about why communism is bad and gay and stupid and doesn't deserve your time. Just like libertarianism.
Yeah, which going back, like it is weird how libertarianism is essentially like the shoehorn version of or no, the horseshoe version of communism. And probably a shoehorn too. If I'm
Yeah, it is shoehorned a little bit because they haven't won an election at any reasonable level ever for anything.
no, never.
Yeah. So the
It's
thing
from
is that
Minnesota.
commies and libertarians are the same in one key fundamental way, like I pointed out earlier, and that way is that they are inherently extreme, which
Yeah,
is why you find a lot of libertarians go and protest with the. Well, remember that one guy that was bringing like that homemade pistol? He was like super "don't tread on me" and all that stuff, saying he was a libertarian. But there you are at a fucking ICE protest. Well, exactly. That's my point. Yep.
yeah.
Now I know we've been killing time so you could bring up a clip for a while, and then you got rumbled. We have what are we looking at, Sam? What are we working with here?
So John Doyle, who's a podcaster, who like he kind of did like a
Oh, yeah.
summary of what we've been saying. Is the whole issue with like Thomas Massey. He brings up a few good points on like where Massey is weak. So
Awesome. Yeah, I will say this. I've watched actually John Doyle for quite a few years since he used to do what is it called? Heck Off Commie. Good
Yep.
stuff. Good
Yeah.
kid.
So yeah, he
You
did
know,
a
I'm
whole.
always down on these talking head conservative figures, Sam. So when it's somebody that I actually think is dope, I will shout them out. And John Doyle is worth listening to. Yes.
Absolutely. He did a whole like 30-minute dissertation on why Thomas Massey is a moron. And I obviously
Based.
obviously people should go and check out like the whole 30-minute show from last week if they have the chance, and I'll have that link in the show note, but like here's basically like a good little 2-minute summary, kind of just outlining all the big issues with Massey.
My first and by far probably most important criticism of Thomas Massey, which is that he is literally an open borders globalist. Bold claim. Hold on, baby birds. When have I ever left you hungry? Firstly, I must remind you once again, keep in mind, Thomas Massey is, at his core, a libertarian. That is his ideology. That is his worldview. That informs every decision he makes in and outside of office. If the Libertarian Party weren't completely inept, he would run as a libertarian. Libertarians support open borders. Now, I know that sets some of you in the audience off, and you'll hear all sorts of libertarians talk about their own little variation of libertarianism that doesn't support open borders. They'll say other forms aren't the real libertarians. Where have we heard that before? The truth is that, yes, libertarianism does support open borders. Libertarians do not believe that the state should be able to regulate the movement of people. They believe borders are these ambiguous constructs. No human is illegal, blah, blah. Like, you get the idea. This is a fundamental belief that libertarians and Thomas Massey share with the radical left. Let's just take a look at his record. In 2019, Thomas Massey voted to end emergency funding for President Trump's border wall. Last year, Thomas Massey voted against the One Big Beautiful Bill, which secured the greatest increase in funding for ICE and mass deportations. It also allocated funds for the border wall, which currently is being built at record pace. Thomas Massey opposes E-Verify. He believes that companies should not be required to confirm the citizenship and work eligibility of potential hires. Thomas Massey voted against additional funding for ICE and DHS earlier this year in H.R. 7147. He has co-sponsored bills to increase visa caps and legal immigration. Just 2 months ago, in March, he voted in favor of an amendment that would require ICE to obtain warrants before conducting deportations, which would just bureaucratize the entire process and effectively neuter ICE altogether, which is, of course, the point, which is why the left likes that too. Thomas Massey is an open borders globalist. If it walks like a duck, looks like a duck, passes bills like a duck, it's a duck, dude. We're allowed to acknowledge that. My first.
So yeah, essentially, so yeah, he pretty much
Scumbag.
So yeah, he pretty much summed up like basically what all my issues with basically the whole entire libertarian party are. And yeah, like that's the other thing too, is anytime I get into like a conversation with libertarian, it's like, well, there are multiple sects of libertarianism and you just don't understand. So let me educate you. And then it's like they go on like 10-minute like spiels and I tune out because I'm bored.
Yeah. Well, talking to a libertarian, you know that one meme where there's like a guy yelling in a bitch's face?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what talking to a libertarian is like every fucking time. It's like, yeah, man, I don't know. I think there should be like borders and I kind of like a social safety net. And they'll be like, no, that makes you a communist. Let me explain to you about the true free market principle for a minute. And you're like, bro, this is a Wendy's. What is your order?
Yeah. Yeah, or even if you say something like, well, they're like, and they bring up like a whole thing of this is my other favorite thing is like they think that like fire and police should be like privatized, and it's like oh yeah, because that could never go wrong like at all.
I would immediately privatize, deputize myself and make myself immune to all the laws.
Well, yeah.
You mean qualified immunity? No way.
No, we're talking. They want anarchism, so I'm the cops now, libertarians. and I think that you're against the law. So I get to dispense Judge Dredd style punishment.
That would be what? That would be terrifying. Max is like Judge Dredd.
Yeah, except I'm just judging if you're a libertarian or not.
Which is even scarier if you are a libertarian. So
Yeah, you walk up to him. The first thing it's like, reefer, that doesn't work for you.
yeah,
Tie-dye shirt, huh? Where'd you get that?
also
Reddit glasses.
oh yeah.
Guilty.
Well, have you noticed that like more may be interested in this too, but like I've also noticed like a few of these like schizo libertarian people also like follow like Anita Sarkeesian and a lot of these
Fuck
That's
that
because they
bitch.
want to fuck her, Sam. If you didn't realize this, Gamer Gators, like the people that are like, yo, I'm a part of Gamergate, the reason that they're still like that, like, what, 12, 14 years later, is because they want to fuck her and Zoe Quinn.
well, I mean,
Like, I'm not
They're
saying
both fat.
everybody involved in Gamergate, Sam, because
no,
almost
I
everybody involved with Gamergate grew the fuck up. I'm
right.
saying the Gamer Gators that are still in that war to this day, and it's their whole life. I find that they often say a lot of things that give me the impression that they would like to sleep with both Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn.
Yes,
That
yes,
doesn't make Anita Sarkeesian or Zoe Quinn right about anything. It's just very obvious that a lot of these Gamer Gators want to fuck them.
yes.
And probably Brianna Wu too. And I understand that makes a lot of questions, and I'm not going to answer any of them. But yeah,
And have no goddamn standards.
that's
Well,
right.
well,
Because
and
these guys, anything they get mad at that looks like a woman, they have to goon to it. It seems to be like a Zoomer thing. Just goon and hate and goon. They have associated those two concepts.
well, and that's and that's kind of the whole thing with this whole quartering thing too. Is it's all like a big hate.
Right. He was hating and gooning on Warski and PPP, who were hating and gooning on him to begin with. And they only exist because Ethan Ralph was hating and gooning on them, and then they hated and gooned on him. And there's a whole section of the internet that is about nothing but saying weird, insane shit and jerking off about it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't really follow much on the internet these days. I make music. I run. I watch the stuff you make me watch. I watch a lot of leftist YouTubers these days, Sam. Like, man, center left.
Yeah.
Grifters have driven me insane. The right wing grifters are so annoying. They're woke 2.0 because it's the same thing of if you don't have the proper opinions, they're gonna cat lady you.
Yeah, and to be honest,
And I never have the proper opinions, Sam. That's hard.
neither do I apparently because I mean, shoot, for all of my stuff, like none of my tweets get like that many like impressions, or anything like that on X, which
Have you
makes it
tried going trans? I
no,
hear that helps.
no, and I'm not going to either. I have these things called standards, Max. That's why you and
Right.
Morpheus are on the shows because you two all three of us have these things called standards. And Yeah, I mean, I could just clout chase, but
Okay. Sell me on this one then. Because, like, the consultant said you going trans would probably be huge for business.
yeah, and then I counted that with like I don't feel
They suggested pigtails, and we call you Sammy.
you guys can already call
Sam?
me Sam. You guys can
Well,
all
what else? Like, there's not. It's either that or Samantha, right? And I felt like that's too formal.
I mean some people to fuck with me will call me that.
Look,
Anyway,
just said that if you did, we would see a growth of 18,000%, and I believe them because YouTube would probably push you to the moon.
yeah, but I have too much pride.
Okay, next best thing then. We could say you're neurodivergent and that you have autism and that you really, really like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay, the whole neurodivergent thing, to be completely serious for a sec, I still like that is again like one of those word
Which you
salad
kind of are.
terms that but
That
yeah,
sounds good to them until they realize that what it sounds like to everybody else would be more something to describe conditions like you guys have, like a neurological condition,
yeah,
not
more
have depression.
yeah, more and I actually are neurodivergent. That's the whole thing is like
Yeah, and when somebody actually is, yes, it is
Legitimately.
noticeable.
yeah.
So when you're not and you're like running around like I'm neurodivergent, we all see what it is. Middle-aged white woman,
Yeah,
mostly.
middle-aged white women or
Middle-aged cat lady.
or a really insecure Zoomer like wanting to get like social media approval.
Yeah. Man, Zoomers love them some like big word salad words, right? Give
Yeah,
Zoomers a new fucking 5-syllable word that they can flex on other people with, and they're gonna go out and word mog everybody they've ever met.
you know what?
These same Zoomers, Sam, don't know how to pronounce basic second grade reading level fucking vocabulary words either, and they have to look it up.
Well, Zoomers have just discovered Michael Jackson too, and it's funny they think that Michael Jackson is one of them now,
Zoomers are kind of retarded.
even though he's been dead for almost like you know almost 20 years.
You know, Sam, millennials are worse. So there's that.
Yeah,
Like, millennials killed comedy, let's be real. Millennial comedy is the
Millennials
dumbest
gave
shit.
us mixtape.
Yeah. Millennial comedy is mixtape. That's millennial comedy right there.
yeah,
Self-entitled self-inserts of shit they never even experienced but wish they did. Yeah, that's millennials in a nutshell.
yeah.
And it's funny too, because millennials, unlike Zoomers, actually did do a bunch of shit, but the ones writing all the shit are the ones that didn't do shit, the theater kids and nerds. This is why, Sam, I'm not only declaring war on libertarians, but I have, it's coming out. Geek Bully Part 3 will be available very soon, but the Geek Bully Trilogy, Sam, is a statement that the nerds, we're living in Revenge of the Nerds, and now it's time for Revenge of the Bros, Sam. Like, the nerds have been in charge way too long. They are mad annoying. They got all these stupid rules, and they want you to, like, remember big words and stuff like community guidelines and all this shit is gay. That's nerd shit. We need to give them wedgies. We need to be fucking running their underwear up the
I
flagpole.
want to throw Bill Gates in a fucking box.
That's right.
Well, you know what's funny is like most of the fiction writers that I follow are not theater kids at all. They're all either accountants or like actual like literal Chad law enforcement people.
Yeah. Well, that's because they're actually writing, and then the people that are getting like major deals from media companies are theater fucking kids, and it's infuriating because nobody wants to read their dreck. This is why theater has been dead since the fucking 30s.
Yeah. Well, and then all the theater kids they all get university positions and then teach useless theater classes.
They all also hate comedy, and so millennial comedy is just being a snarky bitch. But here's the thing: what they don't realize is that all the dramas that they love so much would not exist if they weren't carried by comedies like vaudeville.
Yeah.
Because comedies are what people actually want to see, not fucking the drama nearly as much, unless it's like high level drama. But the average drama dreck that they put out these days is certainly no Shakespeare. It's about their sexual preferences for 45 minutes before you find out that they're actually trans, and then the play is just an actual orgy on stage. That's modern theater, Sam.
Yes.
Actually, that's not even just modern theater. That is literally sort of hair as well. Only without all the gay stuff. But it does end in a naked orgy.
Yeah. 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 Now I'm thinking like theater is really
Well, it's all gay
weird.
guys. That hasn't changed. See, but we used to have. See, Sam, what happened was I know what happened to the theater. The gay guys, they got like not allowed in to do the thing anymore, right? And they were just running the theater. And then all of a sudden it was okay to be gay. That's what I meant. They weren't allowed to be gay. So they were like, there you had a few gay guys, and where they met was running the fucking Broadway theater show. Right? And so they were all sucking each other's dick and all that shit. And they were happy, but there was only a few of them. But now we open the floodgates. Now every guy's supposed to suck every other guy's dick, apparently. You're just supposed to, if you don't suck dick and you're not gay, then you're not going to get a job in show business. So now everybody's gay, Sam. But see, it makes it hard to find the true blue dick sucking homos that used to run the theater for the love of the game. There's so many gay guys floating around. And I know, you would think every gay guy who sucks dick could probably write good Broadway musicals, but you'd be wrong, Sam.
Well, yeah, because
You know how many of these gay guys can't carry a tune at all?
I mean, a lot of them are gay now because it's just trendy.
Well, look, Sam, sucking dick ruins your throat, ruins your larynx and vocal cords, and then you can't sing as good. So you have a limited time for that sort of thing, and there's just way too many gay guys. They can't sort through them all to find the actual true blue Andrew Lloyd Webbers of the bunch. So instead, we get Spider-Man the musical. What happens when you make everybody gay, Sam?
Which I mean, that is just an atrocity.
You say that, but then I'll say Cats, and people will be like, that's the best thing ever. And I think that is the worst thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
Oh, Cats is awful.
Who the fuck? I think the people that say they like Cats have never seen it.
Well, Cats the motion picture is nightmare fuel too.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I saw it on Providence off Broadway, and I was forced to go through a family thing, and I wanted the cats to have real claws so I could grab them and use them to gouge my eyes out about halfway through.
Yeah, no. That's that was my experience too. And then I was forced to also see the motion picture for a family thing, and like I said, that was absolute nightmare
My
mare
God, they
fuel.
made you watch gay furry porn at a family event. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Yep. Yeah, and that's essentially what it was.
Well,
So,
all musicals are some form of gay porn. It's just what kind. That's what I like. Musicals were gay porn before they figured out that they could make gay porn.
I mean, yeah. Although, like,
Sam's like, I like some musicals. How do I get out of this one?
well, the only one that like didn't, the only one that I wouldn't say I liked it, but it wasn't bad was Les Mis. But like that is about the French Revolution, so that is kind of gay in and of itself because it's about the French.
Yeah, Sam likes French lesbians. I'll allow it.
Yeah, but I mean, then again, the French are kind of gay too, so.
Kinda gay, Sam? Or dick gobbling hobo gay?
Well, totes gay, I guess, is the best way of
I like to call it Foxman gay.
saying it. Well, speaking of being gay, Rumble is being pretty gay, actually.
That's not new.
No, it's not. Between outages and them making like between them like basically, you know, making deals with like more crypto companies and whatnot.
Humongous says if the French are gay, then which nationality is the gayest? And I actually happen to know the answer for this one, Sam. And right now, it's Canadians because a lot of them are French and they're not even like cool enough to admit that they're French. And Justin Trudeau being in charge for so long, like they got so much gay aura points for just that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, being French Canadian, that's a double whammy.
I know. That's like being gay. You know?
Yeah.
French Canadian is like saying you're gay.
Although to be fair, are they Chris Cantwell gay? I don't think so.
That's a pretty high bar. You know how many dudes you have to blow to get there? Me either.
Yeah,
Never looked into
I
it.
don't want to count.
too many.
Neither did Cantwell. He didn't count. He just sucked. That's how you get through so many.
Well, he got through so many and then decided to write a whole book about it.
Remember the part where he said he held his nose so that... Never mind.
I do.
Sam's like, you bastard, I'm traumatized by that.
Well, we all were traumatized by that. So
See, Tay makes a good point for the French because he says they're always saying oui oui, but so do at least 1 in 5 Canadians.
yeah, that's true.
And I mean, saying oui oui all the time is kind of gay, I gotta admit. But it's also funny, you know, because like oui oui,
They go all the way home.
or like, I feel like they should have PP should be for no. That way it'd be funnier. Oui oui and PP, or PP and poo poo.
Well, that's talking Africa.
Hey, Pidgin is a
So,
respectable language, Sam. I read BBC Pidgin sometimes to get caught up on the African news of the world. And by the way, Sam, in complete and total seriousness and with no sarcasm at all, a good portion of the fans of my music on Suno are fucking African. West African, specifically.
well, that
What?
West Africa, best Africa, duh.
well, that's cool.
Seriously, like if you look at the makeup of things, if I were to want to ever go to Africa, the only part of it that has like African culture anymore and isn't the biggest shithole possible is West Africa. Unless we're
Ye-
counting the Middle East.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Do we
yeah,
really call the Middle East Africa?
no.
Right. So you either got like the deepest, darkest
No.
Congo. That doesn't sound very fun. South Africa's nice, but it's like, I don't know, it's like a Dutch colony for the most part. It doesn't have, like, the culture is the culture. You kind of know what it is. But out there in like Nigeria, I know Nigerians and Kenyans and you know, Ghana and all that on West Africa, man. You know, that is the most part of Africa. If you were to live, it seems like you'd want to live in one of those countries. Or South Africa, specifically like Johannesburg or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, the problem with South
Or
Africa,
Morocco, to be fair.
the problem with South Africa is all the,
The racial tension. Yeah.
yeah,
They
the
don't
ra-
have that as much in West Africa because it's just always been black people run that bitch.
yeah,
They have tribal tensions. It's different. And political tensions. But so do we. I don't know. I like up here, like my wife knows this to be true too, right? A lot of Nigerians come here because we have a lot of colleges. They go to college, and then how many doctors have you had that are from Nigeria? A lot.
oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, a lot of Nigerians settle up around Boston because they go to college in fucking all the top end schools. So we have a. I'll tell you this, Sam. Ignoring because they're all legal. First of all, the group of immigrants I find one of the best relationships with is Nigerian and Kenyan immigrants in this area are usually doctors and lawyers and shit.
Yeah, well, yeah, Kenyans here are great.
I think you'll find most Nigerians that come here legally are in the same boat.
Oh yeah, I've had so many. I've had
Ghana too.
well,
A
yeah,
couple
there. Well, yeah, there are lots of nurses from Kenya and Ghana here. So
Yeah, see, I come from, I guess, a different school of foreign policy thinking than a lot of people, in that, like, I don't think that the pinnacle of civilization in the world right now that we should be dealing the most with is Europe. In fact, I think Europe probably the last place. I look to Asia and Pacific, area. That's a lot of where the developing world is now. I look at Central and South America and see so much potential. And I look at, West Africa and see so much potential. And I just find it so infuriating where fighting to have like space in Europe who doesn't want to do any, doesn't want any part of us, they want to virtue signal about how much better than us they are. Did you see that we're rejecting the UN migrant pact?
I saw something. I
They want
saw
to tell us
something
we're
about that.
obligated to take all these migrants
Yep.
off their hands.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that. And that's what I mean is like Europe has set up its own problems. It wants us to bail them out of all of them, right? Bail us out of Russia. Bail us out of the problems with our economy. Bail us out of our immigration problems, America. Fuck that shit. America first. That ain't just a slogan, and Nick Fuentes co-opting it doesn't change that it has meaning. You know, Lindbergh and all that. It goes back.
Well, yeah, and so yeah, going back to the whole Thomas Massey thing, like, so you bring that up, but like, what are they all focused on? Oh, there's too much Jewish and there's too much. Well, they won't say Jewish, but they'll say Israel, and it's like okay, but it's like, but the EU has more influence, and it's like, and they're like, no, 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 Israel is like that's all they want to scream about is Israel, and it's like.
Well, and the thing is that the thing about the anti-Israel people, and I find this of even people that I know and currently, is that what they don't understand is that they've been yelling about that in a bubble for so long that they think that nobody else agrees with them to a degree. But we do. Yes, everybody is sick of sub-level of Israel's bullshit. That's why they don't want to hear you rant about it all the fucking time, dude. Is we all know, yeah, Israel pulled this bullshit over here and that bullshit over there. But at the same time, the Israel people bury their nose in the sand and they're like the poor Palestinians. And then you just watch a video of like a Hamas guy shoot a rocket at a bunch of fucking kids.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, how about both sides have nothing? This is my favorite one. The left and the libertarians are so deeply invested that I should care in what they call a genocide in Gaza. Why? Why? Why should I care? One bit.
because Jews, Max. That like that's where and that's why I would have like more if they just came out as like, yep, we're anti-Semitic, I would actually like respect.
Yeah. Well, and then I'd be like, okay, but so this conversation is dead because you can't give me one reason to care.
Yeah, well, it's like it's one of the thing where like it's like, yeah, you're retarded, but at least I respect you for like coming out as like being retarded.
I don't even think it's retarded to say that Israel has pulled some stunts. Israel does have outsized influence. Like, we're not denying that.
Yeah, but
We're
well,
not
yeah,
denying that Israel shouldn't have as much influence in our politics as it does. Why would we even deny that? We've criticized them for it on this show for years but we don't jump into they're really pulling all the strings of all the conspiracy. Like, that's not like
right. What right and that's where they always take it. They always take it to that to
I learned
that.
today though that actually the Portuguese are behind everything. So
Well, that actually makes a lot of sense. Those Portuguese, man.
Portuguese, it's Portuguese. No, there's a Sam Hyde where he interviews a lady, and she describes a group of people who control everything from behind the scenes, and they come from all over, and they look different, and they run everything. And Sam Hyde was like, "You mean the Jews, right?" And she's like, "No, the Portuguese." And she was dead serious. And the reason, Sam, it's such a New England thing because Portuguese people run lots of businesses in this area and they run for government. And so from her very limited like schizo perspective, they are the secret conspiracy Jews of her world.
That is hilarious.
And if you weren't from this area, you would not understand that context. That, yeah, she sees Portuguese named politicians, she sees Portuguese signs, Portuguese businesses, and also the thing about Portuguese a lot of people don't know, Sam. What skin color would you expect a Portuguese person to be?
Like kind of tan.
Yeah, and white and black and every shade in between. And Asian and Brazilian, especially. Because
Oh
the
yeah.
largest Portuguese speaking population on earth is Brazil. So I could see how you'd be like, they all look different and come from all over the world. That's just because at one point they did run everything. Portugal and Spain, right? We know this. They colonized fucking half the world. Then England kind of got better at it than them, and they fell off. But the Portuguese that came here are like, I don't know, now it's like 4th or 5th generation immigrants that settled in this area. And yeah, there's a lot of them. Most of them don't speak Portuguese anymore. Most of them are like anybody who around here who claims to be Portuguese now, if it's likely mixed of multiple ethnicities. And but we do have like Portuguese culture because we have festivals and Portuguese mass and things. So this lady, I love it. Sam Hyde has been doing these interviews with just like random New England people who are crazy, and me and my wife die watching at the crazy shit because that is how there are New England people that are just like that.
I have seen a few of those. Yeah, I have seen a few of those. Yeah, yes.
The newest one that came out today, we were dead laughing at this lady because I'm adopted Portuguese. So my stepdad is Portuguese.
Yeah,
So half my family is Portuguese.
yeah, you've talked about that.
Yeah. And my wife has got Portuguese in her family as well. And we did not expect when she said that because obviously it sounded so much like she was just going to be like, yeah, she's like, oh, those, I hate a group of people and they're secretive and they're sneaky and they lie. And you're like, oh, here we go. She's going to say the thing. And even Sam Hyde is like, you can say it. You can say it. I hate those people too. And she's like, yeah, I hate. So he kind of leads her into it. He's like, I hate and then she says Portuguese, and we both started dying laughing. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, well, it's
And Sam Hyde at one point even looks at the camera and he's like, "What the fuck is wrong with this place?" And I was like, "I've been asking the same thing for 42 years."
Dude, she had him like stemming.
Yeah,
because they were in like these.
Sam Hyde was rocking because she was too much for him.
Oh my god, it was so funny.
Oh man! Shout out to Sam Hyde. Stop defending Nick Fuentes though. Get over it. That's so fucking cringe.
yeah, well, I mean, he's
he was a contrarian voice at a time, and I thought like some of what he said was okay. Yeah, that's fine, but like even Sam Hyde has to admit there's a hell of a lot better messengers for the message that he's looking for than Nick Fuentes in 2026.
well,
But I digress.
well, also like how contrarian can you really be if you're like getting the if you're like getting the like at this point Nick is kind of like corpo contrarian, right? Kind of like Nirvana
Yes.
was.
Yes. That's a very good. Actually, though, if I were to make the comparison, Sam, you're so close, but Green Day.
Yeah. Yes. Even my God.
Because,
Even
and why
even
I
better.
say that is because Nirvana retained more of its soul, including up to the fucking suicide of the lead singer, obviously, tragically. But he
Right.
didn't sell out for the corpos. He just kind of couldn't handle the set. They asked him they were like, hey, make sellout music, and he was like, no, I can't do that, man. And Nick Fuentes is Green Day, where their first record was like a little sellouty punk dookie, right? And then immediately their second record, they were doing acoustic ballads. And then by their third record, they were doing pop punk. And by their fourth record, it was a rock opera. And by their fifth record, they were the biggest fucking pop band in the world. And they had ushered in a second wave of pop punk without any of the punk, but all of the pop.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Nick Fuentes' version of that is trying to be. If I were to say who I think the best, who relayed the best message during that era of that kind of group of people, it's the one that stayed above the fray, and they're known as Murdoch. If you can't do the message that you're doing as good as Murdoch did in that cartoon show, then just you're not good enough.
Oh, well, I thought you were going to say me, but
No, well, you weren't talking about hating Jews, so That's kind of what I meant.
Oh yeah, well,
The
no.
anti-Israel type stuff, right? Of
Oh,
that
yeah.
alt-right, whatever they wanted to say that was. The one that stayed above the fray and never fucking always just had funny content and a message to it was Murdoch. And they stayed anonymous. They still are. There you go.
Well, yeah, and nobody even knew, like barely anyone even knows what Murdoch even is.
Yeah, and it's sort of foundational to a lot of people from 4chan who watched it. The meme culture, It's interesting. Another one is another unsung artist from that scene who is making those kind of criticisms, as I've pointed out on this show constantly, and she's finally getting her due, is Emily Eucas. Emily Eucas is great, and some of her work is a little critical of Israel, wouldn't you say, Sam?
Yeah, and that might make for hilarious podcast.
Oh,
Actually,
I'd love to talk to her just about her art and her censorship, Sam, because as a fan, I watched her get censored, and also as a fan, people will talk about Alfred Alfred, right? And people will talk about the Will Stancil show. But I would love to ask her specifically how much fun it was to make the Wuhan. It's a parody of Busta Rhymes' song "Woo-Ha Got You All in Check," and it's about coronavirus, and she raps it. That's one of
yeah.
my favorite things she ever did. You remember that one, right? Mm-hmm. She dressed up as COVID and rapped a song about how she was gonna kill everybody as COVID. It was great. And that kind of shit is funny to me, but at the time she put that out, it was only on BitChute because she was censored fucking everywhere.
That is way more hilarious than what fucking Colbert did.
Yeah. If you could give me a moment, I could bring up that video. I'm sure of it, Sam, and we could watch it. She'd be fine with that. She likes you know what she likes? She likes getting credit for her work because they unpersoned her for the last 10 years. So as long as you say, yeah, Emily Eucas made this, she's happy.
Yeah, I mean, let's have at it.
Okay. I will find that. We got to find something to talk about while I look, though, because I got to go over there.
Well, I was just gonna say,
what's the GDP of Morocco, Sam? No.
I have no idea. But speaking of social media sucking, I got another 7-day, I guess not a ban, but a temporary suspension on Instagram for false engagement again. So
that's right, Sam, with your false engagement. What does that even mean?
That's what I want to know. I've never had that issue on Instagram, so I'm actually interested.
So
he's interested in the Instagram story, Sam.
So what they're claiming, I guess, is that they think I'm paying for views, which is not I've never even attached my credit card. But basically all I did was I commented my book on one of those promote your book here. And so all I did was comment, and apparently that counted as engagement farming, which I had to look up what engagement farming is. Engagement farming is literally the thing that hoes do now, where they're link in bio. Oh my god!
And I got it, Sam. I'm sending on the tweeters.
That also sounds really freaking stupid that they're doing that to you.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. Well,
if you're engagement farming, Sam, then we're gonna have to have a talk. Look, your shirt is not cut nearly low enough.
Oh God.
You have not said, "Hey guys," once, and you need to start giggling more.
Oh my God.
Well,
Also, we'll have to discuss the terms of your OnlyFans after.
Well, you know,
It'll be an Only Sam's.
well, you know, at this point, I mean, at this point, you may laugh, but I doubt OnlyFans would censor the show.
Fair enough. Hey, I'm just saying we should we need to come up with a reason to have onlysams.com.
Oh my God.
I don't know what would be there, but just to say, like, that could be our website for the show, onlysams.com.
That could be our merch store too.
Oh yeah, Only Sam's. That's your clothing line right there.
Yeah. So, that's what
What are you wearing, Whitfield?
that's where people could pick up my t-shirt with my face on it.
Oh, is
So
that where you guys were gonna get made into shoes?
I wow, what a callback.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't have an idea what that means, somebody on Twitter told Mort that his policies or whatever would see these guys made into shoes for being disabled. And I believe that the topic of conversation was just like on ADA accessibility.
Yeah, and it well, and it was because and it was also because and it was because Moore supported a border wall that somehow translated to us being made into
Yeah, okay, yeah. You guys would get
shoes.
made into shoes. And then we had a whole like 15-minute bit where we No, I did a top 10 list on the top 10 shoes to make you guys into as well.
Yeah.
I believe the pimp shoes with the goldfish in them was one of my favorites.
Yeah. Oh yeah, easily.
We'd have to use a fake goldfish nowadays, though. I feel like it'd be cruelty to animals otherwise.
I had a pair of those minus the goldfish.
Probably.
You didn't have the goldfish? So what was in it?
They were just clear. And one of the guys in the class used to play that funky music, White Boy, when I walked into school wearing them. I didn't give a shit, though. I thought they were cool.
Well, I don't know, Sam. I feel that I have now mastered the dark arts of disco. I set out to do that about 2 years ago. I think I have.
You've made it. You've made a ton of albums.
That's true. One straight disco album.
Well, it's coming back. It's coming back now. So.
Well, I haven't actually put the album of disco was so far just by pseudo. It's not all like music stuff. And if anybody wants, you could. I want to first, Sam. I have to say, if I'm gonna even promo it, I have to say I am humbled by the number of times people have listened to our music this month. It is way, way crazier than I ever expected.
Well, I'm glad, man. I mean, yeah.
And so you could check out Right to a Fed, That Itch, Right to a Fed, Dirty Duets, a couple singles, and I'm going to be putting out a song every Friday through the summer, presumably, or at least for the next couple of months. On Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. I'm on some other things. I got accepted for iHeartRadio this week, Sam. That means that potentially we could get played on a hip-hop station.
Oh, wow.
Pretty dope. So, yeah, TikTok, plenty of places to get Right to Offend, Dirty Duets, Right to Offend, That Itch. Even the new single went crazy, man. That's the crazy one. Should have Never Fucked with the Sandman, available now.
And that's true, by the way. You should never fuck with the Sandman.
It's funny, Sam, because there has now been a couple of people have suggested to me, or not suggested to me, but showed me that there are more than one person that apparently thinks that song is about them. And the answer to those people is yes. All of them.
Yeah, well, why? Yeah.
It's a yes. If you think it's about you, then thank you for telling on yourself.
That's also the case for American Inferno. It's like, hey, did you write me as the bad guy character? And the answer is yes.
Damn, if you hear a song and the first thing is like oversharing, girl, scaring, overweight and overbearing, and you're like, is he talking about me? Is that not telling on yourself?
I mean, I know you're not talking about me, but
I believe the lyrics go something like, that lying virgin bitch.
yeah, that's definitely not me.
Yeah, I can't believe that not only one person, but 3 people are convinced that I was talking specifically about them. It's amazing that people can't sometimes realize. I've been thinking about this, Sam. I have a problem, Sam, and it's not just my brain problem I've talked about before. But the problem is I find a lot of people cannot separate my art from my artist. Like if I tell jokes that are off color, I get like shit thrown at me like I'm fucking Fozzie Bear, right? But like, you know this. If you watch like George Carlin's most famous bit, everything I'm saying is like PG-13 in comparison.
Yes.
And yet, or the Jerky Boys, or like famous movies, on and on and on, right? I am not that edgy, but for some reason it strikes as people need to like tell me how bad what I'm saying is. And that's because they can't ever think like, is Max just making a joke? No, he must deeply, viscerally believe in all of this.
Well,
Now I know how Alex Jones feels, Sam.
that's also because we live in a dumb,
We live in a society, and I'm sick of it.
why I was gonna say we live in YouTube culture now where words like unaliving and
Every
whatnot.
WRTO radio so far has gotten age restricted for joking about suicide or eating disorders, and I'm not sure why. And I don't really fight it because I don't really care. Because like the point is just to drive people to go check out the music more than anything and have fun.
But also, I don't think any of the songs reference any of that.
But yeah, the one song, Sam, where I talked about using replacement words like unaliving, I haven't played that since the first time this happened. So literally, we talked about wrestling. We didn't talk about anything like that. And I got age restricted, and it's like, okay, well, I would stop doing the radio stream on YouTube. It's not like there's a lot of views there. And most of the views come on Rumble. Shout out to all our Rumble subscribers, by the way. Hey, I mentioned the albums, but we do a radio stream pretty much once a week now. And you can follow that where we do play different music from what's on the albums usually. And she does diamond art. She's currently diamond arting a bunch of serial killers.
Based.
Yeah.
Finished Pennywise.
She finished Pennywise. You were working on like Jason.
I mean, no, sorry, Freddy.
Freddy, and then there was Jason, Michael Myers, and Pinhead. And then we play all the different songs. I play a lot of the songs that come from the show over there. So if people are wondering, like, because I do make a lot of show clips and bits into songs, but if you want to hear those, they are on my Suno or on the WRTO radio streams. Suno.com/BlameMaxSand. Suno.com/Maxine Sand. She's got a whole bunch of different stuff, a lot of her own stuff too. And check out the WRTO radio streams each week. There's my plugs for the week, Sam. But I'm legitimately humbled by how many people checked out our music. Thank you.
I am legitimately humbled too by the amount of sales we got for American Inferno in the month of March and April. It's been a little slow in May, but I think that's because like a lot of people have already bought the book. So
Well, it is. That's the thing I think a lot of people don't get, Sam, with that indie author market is even if you do well, you kind of have to move faster than a traditional publishing does because it's a big part of the buyer's market is what's out lately, you know?
yeah, it's a grind too. I mean,
Yep.
I'm constantly putting out work, so I enjoy it for sure. So, um,
Well, American Inferno is the best one I've read of all of them that you've written so far. And I don't say that lightly or just because it's the current book. Legitimately, I think people should check that out. If you haven't read one stitch of his series before that, it really wouldn't ruin the experience.
no, no, and I kind of wrote it so it could be a standalone too.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at is if you're gonna just start with Sam, it's fine to just start with American Inferno, and if you like it, you could get the whole story up until that point. Especially, I think Sins of the Assassin and American Inferno kind of go together at this point.
Yeah,
Those are
yeah.
the two I would really say are like mandatory reading.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
totally.
but I mean, you could just pick up American Inferno. And because the world that you built is so realistic and kind of functions very similar to our own, it's just one of those cases where it's almost like predictive to things that happened in the last year or so. And it's not just me saying it. Travis said it. My God, Eric Bishop said it. Many people have said how prescient your work is, Sam. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I mean that is both a compliment and also a
I was
little
saying, right. I should have mentioned his whole name. Shout out, by the way.
and also a little scary to how crazy things have been.
Yeah.
That's kind of also why you mentioned that like social media that you mentioned that Twitter kind of bores you, and I agree. Like the whole e-drama stuff really does bore me in comparison to like I'm talking to guys who are like talking like counterterrorism and
Yeah.
and like you know and like drug wars in Mexico, like stuff that actually matters. So I don't really care. All I really have to say about like the courting stuff is that like flagging people's channels as gay. But, like, I got my channel flagged and no one came to my defense from, like, any of those big YouTubers, so I don't really you know?
Uh, it's so weird. It's like, okay, he flagged the channel and you guys don't like him now. So now let's make it like a humiliation ritual. Every day I talk about him and all of his friends and stuff. I'm just not interested in a lot of it. I have watched. I will say this: the reason I know anything about it at all is I've watched a little bit of like Brittany Venti's coverage on it, but that's because like we know her and she's like a reasonable, stable, level-headed human being who will just be like, "This is insane and stupid, and I don't know why these people are acting this way." That I
Yeah.
can deal with, but the constant coverage of like, like, frankly, the reason I don't care so much is because I wasn't a fan of the Kino Casino guys either. I think they're fucking cringe grifters too. Nobody
Yeah,
seems to want to allow you to say that no more. We have to think like champion the underdog. I don't think they should have gotten flagged, but I also think that they mostly suck.
I
And they'll say we suck, and that's a matter of opinion, right? And
well,
they'll say,
I'll
well, we get all those viewers. And I'll say, oh, yes, commercial success. This is another one. Ladies and gentlemen, Max Sand does not believe that commercial success defines what is and is not good art. Quote me on that
not
shit. I don't
not
care if Eminem is the best selling rapper of all time. Cannabis is a better rapper than him.
well, I don't agree that commercial success means that art is great either.
Right. And
So,
so with that said, I actually do think Worski's mildly funny. I don't like PPP at all. He's annoying and grating. However, I think Worski is as much of a thin-skinned bitch as the quartering because he blocked me for liking you know Atomic Denny?
yeah.
I liked an Atomic Denny tweet and Worski blocked me forever since then for years because I liked a tweet.
War
What a
war
thin-skinned little whiny baby.
war
PPP has never blocked me, but my beef with PPP is simple, Sam. He fat
war
and
war
loud. Fat and loud is not a great combination.
now see Worski likes me because he thinks that like my takedown of merch was hilarious.
I actually, before that, me and Worski were fine. Like, I've talked
Yeah.
to him a couple of times. I never had an issue with him because, like I said, he's been on Pod Awful, right?
Yeah.
I if Jesse gives somebody the benefit of a doubt, I generally trust his judgment on things like that. Like even Baked Alaska, like yeah, he's a laughing stock, but I think he's harmless, you know.
Yeah.
And the reason I think that is because Jesse took more time to talk to the fucking guy than most other people, and it seems like the proper response for a guy like him is he's just kind of a clown, and you shouldn't take him so seriously. Seems to be a lot of these guys. I don't take them seriously. But then the problem is not reversed. This is where I started with all of this, is then everybody takes everything I say very seriously, Sam.
Yeah.
Why is separating the art from the artist immediately like I'm not part of it? It's amazing. I get shit thrown at me. I get people hate me. And I'm like telling like a Norm Macdonald joke, motherfucker. What?
Well, I don't
How's
know.
that even work?
I don't know why
My shit, my music's considered raunchy, Sam, by people that don't even listen to it and don't realize that there's only like 5 curse words on the Dirty Duets album.
your music ain't raunchy. What the I mean, am
No,
I
but like it's PG-13. That's the whole point of most of it, right?
yeah.
But like the impression for people, even if it is, the lyrics that I wrote there, I mean, it's a rap song. Motherfucker, it just blows my mind how you're supposed to be like, they think that like, you know, Ludacris was elbowing hoes, you know, on his lead single, and that like 50 Cent hits bitches in the head with a fucking bottle of Cavassier, and yeah, okay, uh-huh, and what was it? Oh, I can't remember the name of the guy who did the rap song in 1979 where he was Blackula, but that shit was sick. He's really a black vampire, Sam. Music is real. Everything you say is real. Jokes are real. And you never, ever separate art from an artist. And we can't have comedy, Sam. That's not
Yeah.
allowed. Comedy's not allowed.
Well, I mean, I don't know what
No arguments. The
well,
new cat ladies have arisen, Sam, and they are called right-wing grifters, and they have decided that comedy is dead, and if you tell jokes, you should be canceled.
That is unfortunately true.
Especially,
I like Razor Fist, but I have no idea why he blocked me. That kind of sucked.
well, but my point, like, I get that, but like, especially when it comes to the Kino Casino, I think it was relevant to bring up Worski blocked me for no fucking reason on
Yeah.
account of they're crying about the quartering, and I'm a nobody. And he was offended I liked the tweet. Bro, go suck a dick.
Yeah, no, that's kind of why I
There's motherfuckers out there that call him all kinds of wild shit. I know that Cog says he did all kinds of these. He calls him a pedophile and all this fucking stuff. I like to tweet. And I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, please unblock me, Mr. Worski. Oh, and I'm also not gonna watch your show if you're a guy that blocks me. The fuck would I do that for? Crybaby.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I don't know if they could see it on screen, but you could call in. We are open to the public. Anybody could call in. You could call me a douchebag. Not to my face, really, because we're on the internet, but close enough. You can say, shut up, Max. You can throw Rotten Tomatoes at your camera. All that stuff. Because we're not hiding from criticism.
I mean, yeah, people can call me anything.
Like, I'll criticize Sam right now. Sam, your shirt color is just ever so slightly uneven.
I'm sure it is.
You see? Got him.
That is a more valid criticism than what I'm usually criticized for.
That's right, the roast of Sam Whitfield. You, sir, are in a wheelchair.
I mean, shocker. Even if someone were to say that I'm an Israeli, that I'm like an Israeli shell, it's like, oh, okay. So what?
Well, that's the fun part. Is that they don't know, that you don't know, that they hide the transmitter in the wheelchair. And it's constantly blasting Yiddish latke recipes to the surrounding community out of Sam's wheelchair.
Yes.
Ow.
Now, unfortunately, see, here's the other thing, Max. I keep hearing that I'm gonna get paid $7,000 for all the Israel shilling that I'm doing, but like I've checked my bank account and I still only have like about like 500 in there. So like, what's up? Where's my 7,000, Max?
Well, do you have an offshore account where you can accept shekels?
I mean, Shmuel says that he's helping me set it up, and his name is Shmuel. So, like, why is he not? Why wouldn't he? Do that?
I don't know, but it's weird because the last time I seen Shmuley, is a fun fact, is he had a big bag of money, and he said he was going to the Cayman Islands to handle some business. Probably unrelated.
Have you seen him since?
Well, he sent me a picture, and he was on the beach, and with like 5 women in bikinis, and he was smiling.
Well, I mean,
And he had the bag, but it was like empty. It like had a money logo on it, but it was like an empty bag.
Well, I mean, I'm sure Shmuel deposited my money safely.
Well, I was like, hey, did you deposit the money? And he was like, yeah, I deposited in all them strippers. So, I guess it's safe.
That Shmuel, I'm gonna have to have a word with him when he gets back.
Yeah. Well, he said it'll be an extra week on account of he just acquired a cool new boat and he was going to drive the hose around on it.
You know what? Maybe I should give my money to Craig instead.
Maybe.
That was not Shmuel's 7,000 to spend on hookers. That's my money to spend
Now,
on.
hold on. First of all, I believe he said they were strippers, Sam. Second of all, I'm not convinced that was your buddy or his buddy. I'm just saying he had a bag with a money, a dollar sign on the side, like from a bank, but not a real bank, like a bank in a cartoon movie that's being held up in the 1970s, and it was like that. And then at the end, when he's on the beach, it was upside down, and he was like laughing because it was empty.
Well, right, but see, Max. What I'm saying is, all Thomas Massey's followers are saying that, like, the only reason why I'm a Jewish shill is because they're paying me $7,000, right? And Shmuel keeps telling
All
that.
I'm saying is the picture of Smooly holding up an upside down bag of money and laughing in your face also looks a lot like Thomas Massey, if you think about it.
Oh my God, it does. It really does.
Yeah, he sells these libertarians a bunch of shit, and then all he does is get himself attention and clout. It's amazing that you could be a clout-chasing politician. Like, talk about, could you be low? Like, we all think of, like, streamers and, like, clout chasers, like influencers and, like, that DoorDash girl and stuff like that. We think of that when we think of clout chasing. But for 1 second, just remember that Thomas Massey is a clout-chasing politician.
Yeah, well, you know what?
That's like combining shit and, like, smelly shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I was gonna say is that's like the ultimate oxymoron too, a clout chasing politician.
I know. It's so weird and cringe. And don't vote for Massey for dog catcher. Or whatever he runs for.
Well, John Doyle also said, and he's right about this too. Massey's probably gonna once he loses his election, he's probably gonna get a Rumble contract too, because that's where all these grifters are going.
It makes it hard to support Rumble sometimes with how they run this website, Sam. It's hard not to say, like, they're like, come, small creators, and we won't help you at all. And you got to pay us for even the opportunity to maybe make money, but we're not going to help you. And also, we're going to pay the quarter pounder $50 billion.
Yeah,
and not for disrespect. Don't worry. The girl that he groomed wasn't underage, Sam, so it's cool.
Yeah, and that I didn't
The big own for him, right? Is like he's like the age of the girl was in question, and I'm like, I honestly thought it was because you're a married man who had already been caught cheating on your wife publicly once, and then you got caught again. That's what I thought was deplorable about it. And then Rumble gave him a contract. Everybody thought he was creepy, of course. When they said it was minor, I never saw anything that said that. And then he come out and like, they didn't say it was a minor. So see, I'm not a creep. And I'm like, yes, you are. Yes, you are.
That
But that creep got what? $15 million to stream on Rumble.
yeah.
How about, it would be amazing if he would give us like a working salary rather than $50 million. He'd give small creators a salary to try and create something. But heaven forbid, because instead we could just be the right-wing grift platform. And I'm sure that's a long-term stable strategy.
Yeah, which that's what it's quickly turned into.
Yeah, Kick is actually considered more reputable than this website now. That's sad.
Yeah. Truly.
Shouldn't be this way, Sam. But here we are. I need scissors. I need scissors.
Scissors. I mean,
The funnies, Sam.
I
Damn
mean,
it.
I mean, as long as you don't run with them, that's a good thing.
Why don't I have to be so loud? Why would I shush? I'm working here.
I mean, he's loud because he's excited.
Yeah, I'm an excitable guy. I'm loud because I'm here. We're on the Whitfield Report live. I'm live. He's Sam.
Well, I'm live too. Mort's not. Mort's rebooting himself, I think.
Nah, I got the call, Sam. There's 7, 8, or 9 trillion Draculas inbound to the moon. He had to jet.
Of course he did. So I am.
It's me and you now, Sam. I always knew this day would come.
Well, I mean,
Sometimes, Sam, I say shit like that just to see the look on her face. That one was priceless. She turned around out of a cold stop and was like, you are the stupidest person I have ever seen.
I mean,
it might be.
I mean, it. You know, that's you know, well, you know, what can I say, Max? She, you know, she chose to marry you.
Now she got that look at you, except instead of stupid, it's like, I'm gonna kill you. So good job on that one.
What? I'm just stating fact.
Now she's doing like an Undertaker type gesture towards the screen.
Don't worry. I'm sure I'll have my. Don't worry. I'm sure I'll deal with something similar in the not too distant future.
Oh boy. You doing like some other guys I've seen out there doing and getting you a tranny?
No.
Sorry. No, of course not, because I had it too. I was gonna do a whole little cartoon bit out of it wasn't Sammy's Angels, but it was Sammy's something similar to that. Damn it. Sirens! Sammy's Sirens.
Yeah.
The detective agency that solves crimes with hot bitches in bikinis, and you're just the guy like that. You run the like earpiece.
Yeah. I run
and all the video equipment that comes with them, because they'll have body cams, but not the truth. You know what I mean? Like there's gonna
no, I know. Yeah.
Sammy Sirens coming soon to Fox.
Well, yeah, it would have to be Fox. HBO has gone woke.
Well, we got to find a distributor for this that's willing to have women in bikinis solving crimes. And so they got to be somebody that likes money. And maybe Fox isn't right for that because now they're like part of Disney. I'm pretty sure that Disney hates money.
Yeah.
I mean, they love money, but like they like to like lose it more than actually get it.
Yeah. That's
Who's out there who would like to make money with an idea as solid as this? Like I say, Charlie. See, we could updo Charlie's Angels, Sam, on account of you're not gonna have 3, you're gonna have 7.
well, of course.
Right? And that way you could have a black girl, a blonde girl, an Asian girl, a redheaded girl. You get one for everybody, a goth girl. You get one for every type of guy out there to obsess with.
Of
And for
course.
every chick to wish they could be.
Well, yeah.
You expand the reach. And that way you're and hey, we can play both sides with this because you'll have diversity.
Yeah, my version of diversity is probably different than what, like,
Right. It's a hot woman of every different like type.
Right, which is like different because now they just want, dudes pretending to be women now.
That's right. That's a different series. That's the one that somebody else makes where they have 7 trannies.
Yeah.
That one won't do as well. Also, straight to XXX video. Yours, I'm thinking a theatrical blockbuster release, Sam. And like, we'd have you sending them off on wild adventures, right? And we could have it simultaneous. So one movie could contain like 7 movies, if you follow me, where one of them is like in the Antarctic, trying to find the lost fucking whatever. And then the other one's fighting terrorists, and it's all at the same time. And you, Sam, you're the main character because you're trying to coordinate all the girls in bikinis. Yes, I said Antarctic. It don't matter.
Yeah, I know. It's a good premise.
That's the uniform. The uniforms are bikinis, so we got to work with that. And then you're going to be watching all the different screens, sort of like Five Nights at Freddy's style, and trying to walk each of the girls through the situations and provide support.
Mm-hmm.
Through all the crazy adventures that they like Laura Croft themselves into.
Yeah, so it's like yeah, I mean it's a bold premise.
That's right. It's like Night Trap, but with secret agents that wear bikinis, apparently.
Yeah. Love this premise. So
well, there you go. You're a writer, Sam.
Yeah, I could definitely write something like that.
We gotta get a script going for Sammy's Sirens.
So also
we could even adapt. Think about this, Sam. This is such a great premise. We could adapt it into a reality show where instead of like the movie version, you just get like model chicks and put them into situations where then you're leading them through and the winner gets dinner with Sam.
Now, see, that reality show, people would watch that. Forget about whatever Spencer Pratt was watching or in. People would want to watch that.
I could make put me in charge of just pitching reality show ideas. I know what people like, Sam. Let me tell you about my idea. It's a whole show revolving around motherfuckers getting hit in the nuts.
I mean, yeah.
Think about it.
No,
You can find every clip you can find of some guy getting hit in the nuts and falling down, or like the reaction to it, and it's just bang, 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 one after another. It'd be hilarious.
I could now see I have a premise for a show, Max, which you may or may not like, but it's Max Sand, but you're like performing all these grifters and like teaching how to be actual like men.
I mean, you put a positive spin on it. What you mean is that I would be running a prison where I torture grifters into changing their ways. I see. Yeah, you know what? I
Yes.
would love to do that. There'd be rules about like how they conduct themselves and punishments for the different crimes. Yeah, I could handle that. I'd be the warden. We'd have Morpheus be, the head guard. Can't escape with Morpheus there.
No.
Sam, he has gamma ray vision.
Yes.
I thought it was X-ray, but then he was like cooking a potato and it got real big and turned green, and I was like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, it just hulked out. That's why I like my potatoes.
Yeah, no, he does. He
I was
does.
like, what the fuck? And he's like, yeah, I got that gamma ray vision. So we just upgraded the optics. Morpheus now has gamma ray vision.
That's awesome. Now maybe. Well, now maybe Vox Day will stop using the term gamma.
And the problem is, when when he's looking around, you can tell where he was looking, because there's these girls with big green tits everywhere and big green ass. Like, oh, Morpheus was here.
So that would. Well, hold on. Well, this must be a brand new upgrade of his then.
Yeah. We were testing it out, and
maybe
we only had 3 cases of Hulk tits, but that's 3 too many, Sam.
Yeah, maybe you need to turn down the intensity or something.
What it is the women were fine. They just told not to get angry anymore. Essentially, Sam, the cure for this is to calm your tits.
Telling women not to get angry anymore, that's a death sentence.
I know. That's why this is a terrible problem. The only solution is they need to calm their tits, and try telling a woman, "Hey, calm your tits."
It's not that never works, man. That never works.
I know, and then you just see under the shirt rippling, and then it's just.
So
what we need to do is we need to train Morpheus that he can't use it all the time.
Oh no. Well, if you tell me he can't, then he will. That's the problem.
True. But those women's lives are changed forever, Sam.
Oh, definitely.
One day they'll be just hanging out at home. Their husband will do something to piss them off, and their tit will go big green and punch him in the fucking face.
Well, I mean, there are
Titty smash.
Well, I mean, there are worse ways to go out.
Now I'm just having fun cracking her up.
that actually like that actually doesn't sound like a bad way to go. Actually,
The Incredible Twins.
look. They've done studies. They've done studies. This is true, by the way. According to a
They've done
study,
studies on Hulk titties. I'd love to see those studies.
well, according to a study done at the University of I Made It Up, giant Hulk titties cure depression in 100% of males.
Well, I don't know, because there's a case study for this, because She-Hulk exists, and I'm pretty sure She-Hulk's titties did not cure one male's depression.
Well, that's true.
But to be fair to She-Hulk, we're talking about two different kinds of Hulk titties. Because the Morpheus Hulk titties, he's just looking at them as he's going by, and so they don't get enough gamma radiation to go full Hulk. Just the part he's looking at, which is why we haven't even got into the Hulk booties, Sam, and we're not gonna today. That's a lesson for down the road. But the Hulk titties he looked at, and then, yeah, we do find that when a woman gets mad after this exposure, that they have a tendency to grow, turn green, and become violent.
Well, clearly it didn't work. Well, clearly it didn't work on Melanie Mack though, because she's always angry.
Well, see, there's your mistake, Sam. You think Morpheus was looking at her?
Well, not.
No. Sydney Sweeney needs to watch out, though.
Oh yeah. Oh,
The last thing she needs is Hulk titties.
well, some might already say she has them.
Oh, well, maybe he's already been there. Who knows?
He'd certainly like to think so. Maybe he has. So I did open the caller queue too, so
Nobody wants to talk about Hulk titties? What's up, chat?
well nobody wants to talk about Hulk titties. I was expecting to get like a few pro Thomas Massey people, but I guess not. The other thing too is I guess the SPLC money has run out now, so they're no longer interested.
Man, so they can't prove us wrong about Hulk titties, and they can't defend Massey. No libertarian. I guess we just win.
Yeah. Oh well. Fetterman is based too, but we've known that for a while.
Oh, the new Shoe on Head video. She absolutely roasts Hassan, and we were dying watching that one. So check that one out. It was very funny.
Yeah. Well, Hassan is another one where he admitted to wearing suits because they make his head look bigger, I guess.
Why do him and Nick Fuentes both wear suits too big for them? What is this like a Hassan's not a small guy, is he?
No, but he probably.
Understand. It's tough enough, like as a big dude, it's tough enough to get a suit that fits. I just don't understand. Is this Zoomer style, like wear my dad's suit kind of thing, or like I don't get the too big suit thing?
Yeah, well, they wanted Well, see, they want to feel like grown men because they don't. So I would
It makes you
imagine.
look more like a little boy than wearing a suit that doesn't fucking fit you.
Well, well, yes. Well, yes. I know that, Max. I always wear suits that fit me well.
I
But
know.
yeah.
You get snazzed up. You get your shit tailored.
Yeah.
I don't wear suits, but if I did, I would look at myself on the camera and be like, am I drowning in a suit? You're like I like my shit baggies. If that's what it is, if they like the comfort fit of baggy, then pro tip, don't wear suits. That's why I don't.
Yeah.
If I was wearing a suit and I'm going somewhere nice or something, then I would have it fitted.
Well,
it's funny they all use the word fit now and they don't even know what the fuck it means, huh?
Well, but see you also, I will say this, you also wear like nice shirts though too, and they do fit you and they do look nice.
When?
Though.
Well, they do fit me, but that's because I buy shit too big for me, because that's fine. This is why my fucking sense of style, Sam, is a black hoodie. Because a black hoodie does not have to be fitted to look good. It's just a black hoodie. It's a working man's or a, you're outside kind of deal. It doesn't have to be black, but black hoodies work if you occasionally don't like being seen.
Yeah.
Like get up to clandestine ninjutsu style activities.
Yeah, well, those are always the best for ninjutsu activities.
Yeah.
Like all of them.
And what you got to do is you can't let them fucking turtles get into the junkyard again, because the last time they came and they fucked up the boss's plan. So this time we patrol the whole perimeter, boys, and you got to have the black hoodie for when you're out patrolling the perimeter, because you don't always want to be wearing one of them fucking masks with the little red thing on it. You might get seen. The red thing will give it away. Just tips for up and coming Foot Clan members out there,
Yeah, that's really not a good idea.
That's right. So what you want to do is you got to get good with one of the weapons that the Toidles use, right?
Yeah, like katanas or something like that.
Right.
So,
And then we get you a color-coded gi to match whatever weapon you have, so that everybody knows, oh, that guy throws the stars and this guy has the katana and all that shit. Really important, Sam.
now, see, I would want like a MAGA gi, basically.
It's funny too, because the boss one day, he was like, hey, I made these mutants or whatever, and they're gonna do you guys' job better than you because you suck. And we're like, yo, all right, I doubt that. And it's funny, he opened up the pen, and he said it was like a warthog and a rhinoceros or something. He opened up the pen, and I swear to you, Sam, in that pen, it was Ethan, Ralph, and Johnny Fox. And that's when I quit the Foot Clan.
Yeah. Well, I would quit the clan at that
I
point
was like,
too.
boss, these motherfuckers ain't gonna beat no Toidles. I'm out of here.
No, not at all.
So what else we got tonight, Sam? We got Hulk titties and Toidles and Thomas Massey's retarded.
Yeah.
What more did you want?
I really can't think of anything else.
I can. American Inferno available now.
American Inferno is available now. Also, Blood in the Jungle is coming out May 26. So I don't have that with me right now because I actually gave my
Oh
copy.
man, should I make a Nom song called "Blood in the Jungle"? Then
Yeah, that actually would be pretty based. I actually gave my copy to my mom for Mother's Day this past weekend.
I was hearing it like since you said it was called "Blood in the Jungle," I kind of had Creedence Clearwater Revival in my head going blood because they had "Run Through the Jungle."
Yeah, what do you think I was listening to while I was writing the outline?
101 Tips for Public Speaking by some guy, IP Freely.
You are absolutely right, sir.
Because I know after all these years of podcasting, you need more public speaking tips.
Yes.
Nobody is as unconfident in speaking to other people in public as Sam Whitfield. That's why he hosts this show.
Yeah, no, I have zero public speaking confidence, which is also why like this channel has no subscribers either. It's because I lack so much self-confidence. So that's the other insult I love is, well, your channel only doesn't have 1,000 subscribers, so therefore your opinion is invalid. That is such like grifter logic.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like it's amazing. You know, we got into this before, but the grifter logic is so funny because it's as if they assume that we're doing this. You could only possibly be motivated by direct financial compensation. And I'm pretty sure that we both have track records of proving the opposite of that, as we just like doing it. But you know, must be the other thing, right?
Yeah, now don't get me wrong, like having like if someone offered a contract and it were fair, like would we take the money? Absolutely. But like that's not our sole goal.
We're both the type that have been making radio or podcast content in some fashion since we were small children and just do it as a hobby. And both have other interests and stuff that occupies our time. This is why it's funny because people think that you're streaming like Mersh, for example, or guys like that. Since he's talked shit in the past, I will use him. But Mersh streams every day, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah. Also, I do a show completely sober.
Yeah, not me. I'm smoking pot right now, but yeah.
Well, I mean,
and I sometimes drink 40s and get a little loose, but that's usually on the radio show. Sometimes I've gotten drunk here.
Okay, well, have you ever gotten like? Well, I mean,
one time I was drunk and I hit my head on that pipe, and then I fell down and farted.
Okay.
On stream.
That was on stream, yeah.
That was Max. Those are like rookie numbers, though. See what you have to do is you have to get like blackout drunk on Jameson every night. And
dude, right there, I don't drink pretty much hard liquor almost at all, but especially not whiskey. I'm not a whiskey guy. Whiskey's for sad guys, man.
That's exactly. Well,
I find whiskey guys are always like depressive guys too.
Well, that totally explains Mersh then.
Vodka drinkers start off as a really fun guy and end up a depressed guy as the night progresses.
True.
Tequila drinkers are just fun up until they forget whatever happened next.
Yes.
That's why I like tequila drinkers. Rum is like, if I'm to pick one, like the one that I probably will pick the most is I'll do rum. I'll do margaritas with rum or tequila, or I'll do rum in some type of soda, or I'll do
Yeah.
Caribou Lou. Sam, you familiar?
Yeah, I believe so.
That's 151 Bacardi rum, which is 75% alcohol, and it lights on fire, and you mix that with Malibu coconut rum, so rum on rum, and pineapple juice. But we generally do it with ice and make it a smoothie type deal.
Ooh, that actually sounds good.
One time, this wasn't on a stream. God, streaming wasn't a thing. But one time on the 4th of July, we had this huge party drinking that shit. And then we went down a Fall River. There's this thing called Battleship Cove where all the battleships sit. And we saw the fireworks. Drunk off that shit. Man.
Oh, Max, that actually does kind of remind me. This might be a good way to kind of wrap up the show, but this year is 250 years. This is one of the big ones.
America.
For
Fuck yeah.
And I don't know you, but I'm too hyped up about that alone to be fucking black pilled.
I don't know
So
why people are black pilled. It's because we're winning on so many fronts that they just like to be losers. And you can go be a loser, but we'll call you one, Thomas Massey.
yep.
And you're
And
gonna
so-
lose too. He's gonna lose.
By the way, have you heard, Max? People are proposing that Tucker Carlson run in 2028.
Oh, I hope he fucking does. JD Vance will mop the floor with that retard.
I do too.
You know what I don't understand is how few of them seem to understand how big of a shoe-in JD Vance is.
I mean,
For the nomination, at least. We don't know who he's running against at the moment, so I don't like to speculate it's a slam dunk for the presidency. But what I'm saying is, how can you make a case where JD Vance, unless he gets caught in some massive scandal or does something really fucked up in the next year and a half, is not the nominee?
I mean, the only thing I can see is maybe like if Rubio really wants it, maybe, but
Against him, though? You think Rubio? I don't think Rubio would stand a chance in that primary against JD Vance.
I don't think so. I don't think so either.
So that's what I mean. Is like, I think somebody like Rubio might run, but I think it's like a 80-20 type situation there.
Right.
And grifters all want to get their name in just so they can write a book and get more attention. That's the problem is remember when we used to not have debates until there was just two candidates from each side, and then it was the two that won?
Pretty much.
And the guy that was runner-up from each party would end up as the running mate. I remember when things were kind of like that, and things ran a lot better. There was a lot more order to it.
Yeah, as do I. I mean,
and maybe not always the runner-up gets the running mate, but a lot of times they do.
But also, Max, like for the first since JD has been VP, even when he was Trump's VP candidate, I mean, we've been JD Vance guys from the beginning. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't have that much issue with the Trump administration. Oh no! He said he doesn't have much issue with the Trump administration. I don't.
I have no issues with the Trump administration other than
I have minor stuff. Minor gripes. I would say I wish we could get deportations moving faster. But that's
Okay.
like, it's not that they're not moving, so it's not the biggest complaint in the world. I
Okay,
wish,
that's fair.
like, there's a couple things I could say as criticisms of the current Trump administration, but other than that, nothing that would dissuade me from a continuation of it, and JD Vance would essentially be that.
Yeah. I don't the thing that frustrates me, and this is kind of to tie back to the whole Thomas Massey thing, I don't understand this buyer's remorse thing with Trump that like people are claiming that exists. I don't think it does exist, and B, for the people who it does, I think it's just a grift. It's just
No,
people.
I think that they don't understand that their innate contrarianism is a grift.
Well,
I
and
think
that
that these types of people will always do this.
yeah,
When they thought that being for Trump was the contrarian punk position, that's their position. The moment he wins and now he's got momentum and they are going to fight against him, Tucker has been doing that game. The only person doing it longer than him, I think, is Ann Coulter.
yeah,
This is the contrarians. They always do this. Now they've added Candace to their ranks. Alex Jones has always been like that. These Nick Fuentes is another one. Changes his positions every other fucking week. These people have been doing this for so long. If you believe people who change their positions that frequently, you're fucking retarded. And frankly, I don't want you listening to the show because I think there's no value in it for you. You go listen to their shit because you're a fucking moron.
well said. I
Seriously, like if you think like Nick Fuentes, for example, how we could just sit here and play clips for a whole 2-hour podcast that are just nothing but him contradicting himself back to back. Can we not?
well, I mean, we kind of did that at the
We
begin
did. Exactly.
at the beginning of the year. Him and Mom Dommy too. So
Yeah, and sort of clavicular and all these people. Like, we have built a profile. We talk about the profile of the grift. It's old hat to us, Sam. That's kind of why we gloss over it. But we do constantly bring up that we think the biggest, and I don't think I just speak for myself here when I say that the biggest threat to political discourse is that grifter sphere of people who seek nothing more than the most eyeballs to try and get the most attention so they can make the most money, not to make the world a better place, not to see policies implemented that they actually think would help anybody. They just want to suck the oxygen out of the room. These people have always existed. You could look at like the Al Sharpton in the race grifters. You can look at like some of the Tea Party people back in the day. You can look at some of the radio DJ shock jock types. There's been political grifters before, but there's never been this many, and they've never had this much influence and been so transparently grifting is the key
yeah,
to me. I don't care about people making money doing internet content. That to me is fine. It's people who are actively taking whatever position gets paid to them this week and trying to shove it down, let's be real, mostly children's fucking gullets so that they pick it up. They want to get the TikTok kids
yeah,
saying their shit.
yeah.
And
Well,
I had a problem with the left was doing it, and I have a problem with the right doing it. I don't know. I think kids getting involved in the political discussion at all is a bit trite and counterproductive on account of they can't even fucking vote.
I I agree. I agree, and I say that as someone who was involved in politics when I was a little kid. But I would say that things were kind of different then because the left what because see what people don't understand was that the Obama campaign literally was trying to like, you know, go after the youth.
When you were that young in podcasting, Sam, nobody was holding you up as the standard bearer and saying, listen to this kid for your whole worldview. In fact, the opposite. They were saying, look at this kid. he's not. He's a kid, right? They kind of
Right.
branded you as a kid right away.
Yeah.
Sometimes you still get that. And I'm like, this motherfucker's been here for fucking 18 years. What are you talking about? His show isn't even a kid.
Yeah, no, I get that, and I get that,
But you
and
do have a baby face still, so.
well, yeah. So did well, I mean,
So did Johnny Carson.
well, yes, and so did Charlie Kirk. So did Charlie Kirk. I mean, you know, to be
Well, I
to
was
be
trying. I was
to be
bigging you up
honest.
in a less sad way. You do have a very Johnny Carson vibe sometimes.
You're not the first person to say that either, and
No,
thank you.
that's why I like being the guy on the couch for you, because you're the best Carson I've ever come across.
Why
Well, except for Johnny, but I never met Johnny Carson, so.
why I appreciate that, and I don't
Although
think
I'm not really Ed McMahon as a guy on the couch, am I? I'm way too off the wall for that.
no, but you're like let's see. You're kind of like the norm. I was gonna say you're like the norm to my Conan, but I'm not. I'm funnier in some ways than Conan is.
Yeah, I'm more of a Rodney Dangerfield on the show.
Oh yeah, you're definitely a Rodney. So, especially since you don't get no respect
That's right. None.
because your wife your wife she don't give you no respect. She's always hitting you and
Keep going.
she's always hitting you and beating you up and
Yeah, you should see what she does when she gets mad. I couldn't not make a Rodney Dangerfield joke after we just referenced it to that degree. Jeez.
I
heard him speaking to me.
I
had to say it, Sam.
I heard it.
I made her a Bill Clinton. It's got a little.
Oh jeez. Yeah, I heard a joke. I heard a few good jokes. So and now I said that I'm gonna mess one of them up for sure. But
What do you call it when a million black men jump out of planes?
what?
Night. What do you call it when a million political grifters jump out of a plane?
Freedom?
A good start.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, the trick with that one is you got to lead with the innocuous black guy joke where everybody expects that to be the really out there one, and then you follow it up with the actual. That's 90s humor right there. Is you start with the one everybody thinks you what is that? Yeah, night. And then they're like, I get it because their skin is dark. And then you're like, aha, but what do you call it when group of people I don't like jump out of it? See, the joke is really old.
Yeah.
When group of people I don't like jump out of plane. A good start.
And I mean I think with political grifters it would be a good start. So
That's why I thought of it at all. I was like, oh yeah, there's the plane joke. What would be a good start would be them all just going away and stop trying. Man, especially anyone riling up towards violent insurrection action and shit. Just fuck off already.
yeah.
I have had so much enough of it. It's like, my God, we've had what 3 or 4 attempts on the president. We've had major assassinations. It's almost like you should arrest people who go around saying that they're gonna do some violent shit.
Yeah.
At the very least, talk to them. But who would have ever thought to do that?
No.
Everybody up until Obama was president is the answer.
Yeah. Yeah,
Then
pretty
all of
much.
a sudden we forgot.
Yeah, pretty much. So, well, I think we're closing in on about 3 hours. Any other topics you can think of that we
Yeah,
haven't covered?
deport Obama. It's not a
Why?
topic so much as a thought.
Well, I think deporting Obama. I mean, I have heard that he's from. I'm not so sure that he is from Kenya though, because Kenyans are very like pro-America, and
I think he's secretly from Guatemala. Listen, his name is Obama. Barack?
Barack Hussein Obama. People forget about that part.
No, I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think that we should appreciate that we are alive and here and able to share in a wonderful conversation and share our art and I don't think the state of the world is all that bad, people. Get off
No,
the internet. Stop listening to fucking retards.
I no,
Except me.
I would agree with all that, and I think people should I think people should stop doom scrolling and pick up a book, and pick up this book specifically, American Inferno, which actually talks about how bad doom scrolling is, like, as a theme in this book. Seriously.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So,
I just I was late because the line at the shop was long and I was out running, and that's what I suggest. I spend a lot of time not looking at all of this stuff, and even if I'm watching things on the internet, I'm not watching political commentary people that I don't like or trust to begin with. And if anything, I'm watching like random lefties that make a point I sort of agree with a lot more. I've been trying to recommend those to you. It didn't go over with the science community last week because they think recycling is great or some shit. But I got some other ones I could recommend for next time, Sam, that are not on topics that would get so much science panty twisting going on.
well, you've recommended Clifton Duncan, and I like his stuff a lot. Same thing with Gothics.
Yeah. No, it's funny because I think black center left and center right YouTube is like where I find the most reasonable opinions these days.
Same.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of them are like not trying to grift all that hard. They're just like, hey, I figured out because of my experience that a lot of the stuff they told us growing up was a lie, and they're just trying to kind of share it with other people in a low key way instead of being screechy and preachy.
Yeah.
Often I find them at least introducing ideas to me that I hadn't seen before. Check out Sparked Up. There's a great YouTube channel. He does reviews of Boondocks and stuff through the lens of like a black nationalist.
Oh yeah, I've seen his stuff before.
Yeah. I actually we watched a clip on the show one time because
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, but Max, he's a lefty and a black nationalist. Yeah, well, he makes some interesting fucking points too. Why are we not allowed to talk to people that we know we disagree with anymore? What the fuck happened, Sam? I used to talk to communists all the time. All the time. They
Yeah.
won't talk no more. They learn how to be mute, or they just screech the same stupid shit at you, man.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that happens to me is they don't actually want to have a dialogue. They just want to screech.
Yeah, it's a
So-
shame. So that's my thing is I've been trying to reach out to leftists. I actually have somebody that I might be able to have you invite on. They can talk about trans issues from the other side, and they're not unreasonable.
I would definitely be willing to have that. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And hey, we've said some stuff that you know, trans people might not like us, but I'd sit there and talk to anybody about the differences. That's, I think, the difference I see lost in what I call grifters is they're not there to have a conversation.
Yeah.
We are. And maybe that doesn't get us the most views in the world, but sometimes I feel like that's okay.
Yeah, which is ironic because you would think having conversation would get us more views, but I guess not. So
Well, it does and it does. It's, you know, we're consistent at least, and you can check us here next week, but I got probably gonna do a radio stream this week. Song for this week, release for Friday, Sam, is going to be Yo Mama. So look out for Right to Offend, Yo Mama, coming this Friday.
based. And like I said, you know, go pick up American Inferno, and then Blood in the Jungle will be on sale in just a few weeks. And also I'm gonna try and get I'm waiting for a few guests to get back to me. That's why I had a guest on in a few weeks. But yeah, we have a whole backlog of them, so go check them out on Rumble.
You don't have a guest this week. You gotta invite me on, and we'll talk about art.
Oh, for sure. So,
and I won't do a bit at the beginning of the show and confuse half the audience.
I mean, sometimes that's the best though when people are confused.
No, I'll slip into a bit at the end and confuse the other half.
I gotcha. So,
and Bits and Bones this week. There's been video games. I played Outbound. Come out. It's like an RV crafting game.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
It was more fun in a trailer than it was playing it because the shit's slow as hell. I get it though. If you're into that, you might like it. You're just kind of exploring the map at your own pace, and then you can craft a base on top of your fucking van. There's no combat.
So it's kind of like driving simulator then, basically.
Yeah, and like your cars like run on trash. So it's like a DeLorean from Back to the Future, but without all the coolness factor. No, it was a cute little game. But it wasn't as fun as I would have liked. There's my video game for the week, and I played like an hour, to be fair.
Fun. So, but anyway, well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. And if you're a Thomas Mass fan, be dumber or be smarter, I guess. And don't vote for Thomas Massey. But anyway, we'll catch you down.
Or be really mad. We don't care.
Yeah. Or call in next time. That would be best. But anyway.
Yeah, I guess since nobody called in, he sucks officially.
Yeah, pretty much. So anyway, thanks everyone.
The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Thank you for watching the Whitfield Report live on the Right to Offend Media Network. Make sure to check out Sam's books on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. You can follow Sam on X at SamW_NGC and the Right to Offend Media Network at RTO Media. Like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And until next time, God bless, God save this